academic spans across a period of 18 years, and she is currently holding a sabbatical appointment in the Baze, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, Baze University, Abuja, Nigeria. She was a Fulbright Visiting Scholar in the year 2021 at Rutgers University in USA. She was a beneficiary of the Technology Development Fund postgraduate scholarship for her PhD research, and she has authored several peer-reviewed journal articles, contributed to book publications, and is also an associate editor and book reviewer for the Fulbright Chronicles. Welcome, Dr. Atta. So you would have an opportunity to introduce yourself as well as give us a brief presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lily. Nice seeing you again. And hello, everyone. So I think I'm just going to dig in. I think Lily has done a good job at introducing me. So I have shared my slides. Do let me know if you can see them. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So currently I'm an associate professor in Ahmadu Bello University, but I am currently running a one-year sabbatical at Baze University in Abuja. So this is just an outline of what I'll be talking about, my journey into STEM, the challenges I faced, and how I was able to overcome these challenges, the opportunities that I came across as an academic. And so let me just start off. So what brought me into the field of STEM? I would say that from when I was very little, I loved books. I loved reading. I could consume anything. I loved learning new words. I loved big words. And I also loved numbers. I love maths. So I knew that I was going to be in the science field. And I love nature as well. So I applied to study medicine. So I'm coming to where I'm saying circumstance and choice. I applied to study medicine because right from when I was like 2 years old, they always call me Dr. Habib in the house because I was always saying I was going to be a doctor. I'll hold like a play pretend syringe, and all that. So, but I applied to study medicine at Ahmadu Bello University. I didn't get medicine there. I got microbiology. I started studying microbiology, but before the end of my first semester, I actually got an opportunity to study medicine in another university. But I had already fallen in love with microbiology, and I realized that I would rather be a scientist applying my knowledge than to be a medical doctor. So that is how circumstance and then my personal choice brought me to the field of microbiology. Now, when people hear microbiology, they always think all you do is work in hospitals, work with the germs and the bad guys and the bad bugs. But the thing is, only very few microorganisms are actually pathogenic. That is, only few can cause diseases. So you have so many microorganisms that are beneficial. So that is where my own field of research came in. I work in the field of environmental microbiology, in which I use microorganisms in beneficial ways to clean up the environment, to produce biofuel, to produce substances that can be used to kill other harmful microorganisms. And then I knew I wanted to be in the research space, but somehow I felt handicapped there in the country. So I felt the only way I could be in research is to work in a university. So I started lecturing in the university, and through the course of my career teaching and conducting research, I was able to improve on myself, improve on my skills by attending trainings, workshops. I don't take any opportunity for granted. However little the opportunity is, I always try as much as possible to key into opportunities. And as an academic, there are certain things you just have to do, because if you don't do that, you don't have career progression. So I started writing papers and collaborating with colleagues in other fields as well. So fields like soil science, biology, the built environment, biochemistry. I collaborate with colleagues in those departments, and we co-supervise students either at master's or doctorate level. So that's how I found myself in STEM. Now, the few challenges, well, I will call them few, but I've summarized them into broad headings that I faced during my career. as an academic in Nigeria. So first of all, I didn't have enough mentorship. I didn't have any idea of what mentorship meant. So early on in my career, I didn't have active mentorship. So I paid dearly for that because I didn't have enough publications, because there wasn't anybody telling me you should publish every year, you should attend conferences and what have you. The mentors I eventually had were those ones supervising my masters and my PhDs. And then from there, I started realizing, okay, you have to talk to people. It doesn't just end in supervising your project. You also have to talk to people outside your supervisory team. And that is how I started getting myself involved with older and more experienced academics. And then another challenge I faced was having to balance my family life with my studies and my work. So the thing is, I started working as a lecturer during my master's. I had just finished my coursework and I got the job. So I was still doing my laboratory work. So I got married, and before I could graduate from my master's, I had 2 kids. Yeah, I already had 2 little kids. So it was very difficult for me to navigate the domestic roles and at the same time face my responsibility as a lecturer teaching and having administrative responsibilities, and of course my master's, my pending master's. So it was a bit of a struggle, but I had to realize that I had to find what works for me. What works for A may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for someone else. So I realized that I needed support. So I tried as much as possible to ensure that I got support for certain things. And I now realized that I couldn't do everything myself. I am no superwoman. I happily tell everyone I am not a superwoman. So when it comes to certain domestic things, I had to employ someone to help me deal with certain things so that I could focus on spending time with my family, bringing up my kids, and at the same time, be able to do my job diligently as an academic. So that was a huge challenge. But thankfully, I was able to get through it. And then I started my doctorate. And then it was far easier for me to balance these 3 things. I'm bringing this up because there are so many females that have noticed that have this issue with balancing the home life and the workspace. And that is because in our kind of setting, we can't just deny the fact that there are certain roles that are expected of us as females. Whatever your ethnic background, your religious background, whatever it is, there are certain responsibilities or roles that are reserved strictly for women. So it's kind of difficult for some people to navigate that space and balance both things. Then another challenge I faced was during the course of my doctorate, I was a beneficiary of the Petroleum Technology Development Fund scholarship. And so I had to go to the UK to conduct my lab work. And that was a very painful experience for me because then I already had 3 kids and my youngest was just about 1. And I had to leave her and her siblings back in Nigeria. So that was a really tough time for me when I was in the UK. But it's eventually paid off because I realized if I had gone with her, so such a clingy baby, if I had gone with her, I may not have been able to achieve what I did within that space of time. So that is also a challenge, a big challenge for women. But the good news is that there are so many opportunities for mothers to go with their kids to foreign countries. So it's all about your choice and what you have available for you. And then a very big challenge as well is the lack of enough funding. For you may have beautiful research ideas, but there isn't enough funding. There isn't enough to go around. There are just so many researchers with beautiful ideas. So that's also another challenge I faced. So the opportunities I came across was scholarships, awards, fellowships. I received an award during my master's as innovator, Innovators of Tomorrow Award from the Step B project. And I also got for my doctorate, I got the PTDF scholarship. And then for my postdoctoral research, I was a Fulbright scholar. So I was able to get those opportunities. And that's because there are certain opportunities for people that are in academia. And then due to my experience, have been able to collaborate with experts in other countries. And there are certain opportunities as well that are available for people that are in academia, either as a postgraduate student or as an educator in universities or polytechnics or what have you. So those free training opportunities have really helped me a lot to build a lot of my research skills and even some of my soft skills. And as a result of my role in STEM and also as an educator, I have been privy to being part of panels, interview panels for scholarships, panels that had to do with working with the Federal Ministry of Environment on issues that have to do with companies being set up that do not disrupt the biodiversity in the environment. Also in providing orientation to new students, monitoring the National Examination Council examination, and also internationally as an expert, so I've got to travel to a few countries because of my work with the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform. And because of the nature of my job, I have to do a lot of writing, writing academic articles and also op-eds. So I've been able to improve on my writing skills. And because of that, I have been invited to be part of editorial boards, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So in the field of STEM now, I'm sure many of us here are in the field of STEM. If you want to stay ahead of the game and you want to remain relevant, you have to ensure that you constantly build on your skills. You can't just sit there and think, oh, I have so degree, I'm good. Oh, I have doctorate, I'm good. You have to keep improving on yourself because it's a very dynamic environment. So you want to ensure that you have improvement of your soft and research skills. You want to learn how to code, how to use Python in your research, how to write intelligently and attract the necessary investigators or collaborators. So even if you are constantly on social media, you could also use it for academic things, not just for fun. You can use it to reach out to certain people in certain universities, and who knows, you could have a very good collaboration. I have had several collaborations with people that have met on LinkedIn and Twitter, especially LinkedIn. So we have to take advantage of every opportunity, learn certain tools that you do outside the lab, outside the field. So learn how to use those data analysis tools on your system. You could get a remote job just from doing that. And then read a lot of journal articles. It will keep you abreast of the latest technology and what is trending and what is happening out there. Then you have to have SMART goals. I know we always hear SMART goals, but we cannot overemphasize SMART goals. It kind of keeps you focused and keeps you on the game. So it's a way of making sure that you're on the right track. It's been known that people that write down their plans and have their goals well defined end up being more likely to achieve their goals in life. So you have to ensure that you have SMART goals. Then ensuring that you also register as a member of professional body societies. Every academic discipline has a professional body. So you have to ensure that you register, maybe you register as a student member. Once you graduate, you convert to a full member and then you attend their meetings, attend their conferences. It's an avenue for you to network and also for you to build on your skills. And then you should also volunteer for organizations in not-for-profit organizations and also in the public sector. And if you have any opportunity for internships, even if it is not going to be paid, it's very good because it's going to help you eventually by the time you have a job. And it will also make you get used to certain skills, which otherwise you wouldn't have had. So some of the challenges females in STEM face include lack of mentorship. Sometimes we don't even know we need a mentor, don't know we need someone to guide us through our path in our field. And let me just say this, not every mentor has to be in your field. Not like Phoebe rightly said, she said someone in admin played a huge role for her. So not everyone has to be in your field, but they could guide you or point you in a very relevant direction. So lack of mentorship is a problem females face. And there's this saying out there that females don't work well together. So I don't think that is necessarily true. I don't think so, because some of my very impactful mentors are women. So we need a strong mentor to guide us through our path, through our career, whether you're in the industry or you're in academia, you need that mentorship. And then the problem of managing our time as women, we also have challenges with managing our time. So I would say time management is a very huge challenge because not everybody can manage the home and at the same time manage a career at the same time, depending on the circumstances in which one finds themselves. And then there are cultural biases. So I usually go to school sometimes and talk to secondary school females. And the perception I get is that there are certain fields that are not for females. Like, don't go there. You can't do that. You're a woman, you know? So I always encourage them and tell them, being in sciences doesn't mean you have to just study medicine, you know? There are things like computer engineering, there's petroleum engineering, there's IT, there's aeronautical engineering, you know, mathematics, physics. I always encourage them that there are so many things you can do. There's nothing you cannot study as a woman. So sometimes those cultural biases set us back. Or you hear homes where they tell you that I don't want my kids, my daughter to get to a certain level because she may not get a husband. For the husband will chase her, she will chase the husband away with her achievements and all that. So we have these cultural biases and we can't pretend that they're in there. So, but they are a big stumbling block for females. And of course, domestic responsibilities, part of the challenges females face. And sometimes we get overwhelmed and we don't build on our skills. So I always tell female mentees whenever I get the chance, any opportunity you get, learn a skill. If you have the option of learning something online, please do it. Go to Udemy and feel free to make use of all those online courses and learn something at your own pace. You can pick the self-paced platform so that you can learn at your own space. But we just have to try. You have to make that conscious effort to learn these skills and remain relevant. Also, we have a lot of societal pressure in Nigeria and generally in Africa when it comes to being relevant in your field. So there are many ways in which mentors can help mentees. I'll just mention a few. So a mentor can provide guidance for you on how to make applications, on where to apply. And if you are writing a paper, a mentor can help you to vet that paper, edit the paper, and even tell you what journal to send your paper to. In the workspace, a mentor can tell you, okay, at this stage in your career, you need to have an additional degree or you need to have an additional qualification. So mentors guide us in that way. Sometimes they may provide emotional support because I have had several times when I'll have students, I'll just tell me, I don't think I can go on with this research. I'm just overwhelmed, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, you know. Many of us face burnout sometimes, but you just need a supervisor that will tell you it's okay. Take some time off and then come back and then you'll be fresh. Or, okay, maybe you're not doing it right. This is how you should go. So sometimes supervisors, or sorry, mentors provide this emotional support. And they can also write letters of recommendation, serve as referees, even on your CV, and then when you're applying for jobs. So there are so many things in which a mentor or so much guidance a mentor can provide to mentees. Sometimes we just don't know it and we end up making a lot of errors and mistakes in our career. So if you want to contact a mentor, how do you contact a mentor? The first one is direct communication. It may be someone you see all the time. It may be your boss at work. It may be your professor. You know, you can just walk up to the person and talk to the person. Please, can you provide guidance for me? I want to do this. I'm at a loss. I don't know which way to go. Please, can you direct me? Or you could just come out and say, I want you to be my mentor. That's happened to me several times. So you could do direct communication. And let's not forget that you could also have mentorship from your older peers. So for those that are perhaps still studying, either at undergraduate level or postgraduate level, you could have a fellow student that is already more experienced, and that person could provide a lot of guidance. And then you could also do cold email. You could read a paper and you like this guy's ideas and you want to work with him. Or you could maybe attend a workshop and you see somebody in the same space as you in the industry and you want that person to mentor you because the person has been so successful and you want to know how the person was able to achieve it. You could just send a cold email to the person, introduce yourself, be very polite and tell the person, I have seen your work. I like how you progressed in your career. Can you please guide me? Will you please be my mentor? Many people always feel very honored and glad that their work is being appreciated and they are being given the opportunity to transfer this knowledge. So cold emails can also work. And then again, social media. Social media can be very, very powerful depending on how you use it. I always tell my students that it's not enough to just watch English Premier League and what have you. You have to key in, know what is happening now on social media, follow the relevant hashtags. And when you do that, you learn so much, and you could even have an opportunity to collaborate with someone that is not even within your space. Perhaps you have a beautiful idea, but you don't have the funding to do it. But somebody that you're following might be able to fund either financially or providing the materials that you need for that beautiful idea you have. So follow the right social media platforms and you come across very worthy mentors that'll be very happy to guide you through your career. And when you are contacting likely mentors, you have to ensure that you are very polite, you are straight to the point, hit the nail on the head. This is what I want you to assist me with. State your discipline or your field of work so that you can now show how you guys have common ground. So it's also a good idea to tell the mentor, prospective mentor, these are my career goals. These are the things I want to achieve in so amount of time. This is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. It will help the prospective mentor in guiding you through all that. So there are many resources, so many resources. Now it's a global village because of the internet. So there's a lot of information. There are lots of resources out there for mentorship. There are some that are informally. So it could just be passive mentorship from your tutor, your teacher, your professor, your student body. You could get informal mentorship that way. And you could also ensure that you maintain contact with your current or past tutors in whatever space. That way you could have access to them still guiding you. And then there are also some professional organizations that have mentorship groups, like the American Society for Nigeria, and there are so many professional bodies. Practically most of them have it. Sometimes, if you don't know where to look, you will not find that information. Also, in professional bodies, you also have listservs where they have list of contact details of all the people registered with them. I remember that is how one of my very good mentees, that's how he found me, and that's how we had this mentorship relationship with him. So listservs are also very good, but if you're not part of a professional body, you wouldn't even have access to the listserv in the first place. So it's very important to maintain active membership in professional bodies. And there are so many. And the good thing is there are some mentorship programs that are specific for women. For instance, Faculty for the Future, 500 Women Scientists, OWSD, so there are some that are specific to women. And then there are some that I'm also part of. They are based here in Nigeria. But they have resource persons and mentors from all over the world. For instance, the Research and Training Support Group, STEM Club Project Africa, Ariwa Youth Mentorship Program, and they are all on social media. So you can search for them on social media and you would find them. So there are so many scholarship and funding opportunities for those of us that want to further our education, go for masters, doctorates, and what have you. So I have mentioned a few of them on this slide. They are also available on social media. You can find all the details about them. So thank you very much. I have placed my email addresses on this slide. Thank you.